Hey everyone, welcome back. I know it's been a weird semester and we're finally able to get back at it and things are going to look a little bit different. That's kind of the story of life right now, right? Um, so I'm here in my apartment working from home. The fairgrounds is closed to events. We sent all non-essential staff home while we're under this kind of shelter in place order from the governor. So we're just really working hard on the fair, trying to get that ready for August. And so I'm at home, also working for you guys, making sure I can give you the best materials possible to finish out the semester. This is going to look a little bit different than a hybrid class. And so hopefully you guys can still get just as much out of it as I'm hoping you can. We are going to have to miss a couple activities I had planned that I thought were really cool. I had some tabletop exercises for you guys as we went through response and recovery. So we'll have to just kind of modify things and move on with our semester. I've sent a couple emails and updates. I've updated the syllabus, and so I want to go through that today with you guys on video. And so we'll jump into that and just kind of talk about how the rest of the semester is going. I hope you guys are staying home, staying healthy. I think before we're done with this, we're all going to know somebody who was affected by this virus. For me personally, my manager got the virus. So we've kind of self quarantined for about 14 days after I hung out with her. She got infected from the coach at the Horizon League tournament that we hosted at the fairgrounds kind of right before all this happened. No one's fault, just the way it's been going. That's how pandemics work. So we're learning as we go, and so it's been interesting. And so I want to, like I said, just take this time to kind of talk about how the semester is going to go for the rest of the semester. I think the benefit to our class is that it's a hybrid class, and so you guys are kind of used to the schedule online. And so things are going to pretty much stay kind of normal. We just won't meet in class on Tuesdays. I'm not going to make you guys jump on the computer and try to do an all class Zoom or lecture or anything like that. I know some other classes might be trying to do that, and I want you guys to be able to make the most of your time while you're wherever you are. You guys might be in different time zones now or even different countries, just depending on where you guys are from. So I'm going to be sensitive to that. I do want to tell you, like, make sure you're paying attention to Canvas. That's kind of the story of life right now. Everything's on Canvas for all of your classes. I know it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of deadlines. And we've got to power through the rest of this material for this semester. So just keep up with the deadlines. I'll be posting a lot of updates and announcements to kind of help you through all of that. So let's jump into the syllabus. I'm going to try and switch my screen here. We'll see what happens. Okay, great. So I posted this a while ago for you guys to kind of get a feel for how the semester was going to go. Um, like I said, I've updated our schedule. I'm also modifying the late work policy, and I'm going to update the course grading summary. So that's all in this document that you guys can see. Like I said, we're not going to meet virtually on Tuesdays at 9 a.m., but we'll have some time to interact with each other through the discussion post, just like normal. And we'll have the chat feature enabled on Canvas as well. Um, so let's just look at the assignments and the due dates. We kind of left off with response the last time we were in class together. I wasn't feeling super great, and so we didn't lecture. We kind of just talked about where we're at with COVID-19 and kind of a timely discussion considering everything that happened. So we're going to jump back into response. Remember, you guys did do one response assignment before spring break. So that will be on the final, and then everything that's happening from here on out. Things are going to open up on Monday morning for the Tuesday class, and things will open up on Wednesday morning for the Thursday class. So hopefully that makes sense. You'll see those in the modules. I'm not changing anything about the modules. That's where we're going to live for the rest of the semester. Your activities, your articles, your lectures, everything will be in the modules. The only thing that's not is the current event discussions. That's just like normal. We've got two more of those, and the paper and extra credit. So we'll talk about that in just a second. So this week we're going to finish up response, talk about response. There'll be an online activity every lecture, and that's because I don't want to take away your in-class attendance points. If I reduce the total number of points in the class, for some of you, that's going to hurt your grade. So I didn't do that. And so you're going to see things here like on April 14th, it says online activities times 2. That's because we're going to cover 2 lectures that day. And we have to have both those activities. Otherwise, the number of points in the course would drop and it could affect your guys' grades in a negative way. And I don't want to do that to you. Most of these online activities are actual activities. There's not very many quizzes. There's maybe 1 or 2 quizzes left. Um, so you guys should be able to get your full 10 points for all of these. And remember, any quizzes that I post, you get 2 chances to take the quiz. So make sure you're doing that. So yeah, we're going to finish response. We're going to move into recovery, finish up the phases of emergency management with recovery, talk about presidential disaster declarations and things like that. And then we're going to kind of finish up the disaster management cycle with the role of the private sector and nonprofits, how they interact with disasters, and then do a case study comparing Hurricane Katrina to Hurricane Sandy and the different size of the storms and the different areas of the country they impacted. And then we're going to move on to some other kind of special topics in public safety. So we'll do one about special events. I'll record this lecture so that you guys can really hear my expertise in the event world and talk about a national special security event. So what happens when the Secret Service is involved with events like the 500 or presidential rallies and things like that. Then we'll move into continuity of operations, and I have pushed back the due date of the paper. At first, I said I wasn't going to do this, but with the extra spring break week, I didn't want you guys to feel like you had to be working over spring break. So I added a week to the paper, and now you'll turn it in online on Canvas. So that's due at midnight on the 21st, along with your next discussion post. So discussion number 3 and 4 are going to be about COVID-19. These are current event discussions, and that's the current event. So we're going to talk about, in discussion number 3, we're going to talk about how has the world changed, and how do you think the world's going to change based on this? You know, it's very different than a terrorist incident like 9/11, but the world changed dramatically after 9/11, and that was kind of my first worldwide event that really defined the world for me. And for some of you guys, this is your first event that's like defining the world for you. And so, you know, a lot of people didn't think the security would stick around as long as it did after 9/11, and look where we are now. So I want you guys to really think about, like, where's the world going to be because of this? Because of teleworking and so many parents e-learning at, you know, younger schools, and um, the impact it's having on healthcare workers and what is essential employees. We've learned, right? Like, we don't need professional sports. We need people who work at grocery stores. And I'm saying that as an athlete, and I absolutely love football. You guys know that. But think about how the world's going to change because of this. Discussion number 4 is going to talk about leadership. You guys hopefully are plugged into the news. I know too much of it can be bad, but how have you seen an example of good leadership through this? And how have you seen an example of bad leadership through this? And explain that. Let's talk about that. So we're going to relate those back to public safety and how things have changed. So we're just going to keep, like I said, going through some special topics, talk about leadership and management, technology trends in public safety. What are we doing with drones and body cameras and all that kind of stuff? Get into cybersecurity. Really, cybersecurity is an article here. And then one of these 2 online activities is a quiz on a website where you guys will find out how secure you actually are in the cyber world. I don't care what grade you get on the quiz. It's for your own awareness. I just want to know that you completed those. So that's kind of a fun activity to just see kind of where you're at in terms of cybersecurity on your personal devices. And then we'll finish up the semester talking about where is emergency management going? Where is disaster management going? What are the trends? Talk about climate change and social media and the impact these things have. Public health emergencies. This has been a huge topic of how do public health emergencies intersect with emergency management and disaster management, because they're different, but we rely on the same resources. And then career options. We'll talk about everything we've talked about this semester is open game for a job. Things all the way down to public assistance grants. Somebody has to manage that money. That is somebody's job. So everything we've talked about applies. There's a continuity of operations planner for the state of Indiana, and every agency at the state has a continuity planner. And so there's unlimited possibilities of careers in public safety. And so we're going to finish up our semester talking about that, and then you'll do the final exam. And we'll do that online. The university has said that they don't want us to be in the classrooms for that. So we'll put the exam online. It'll be open for a certain number of days. You'll have a time limit for it. And I'll explain all that as we go in later in the semester. Real quick, I hope you noticed there's extra credit here. This is kind of a fun assignment. Basically, you're going to watch a movie from a list of movies that I've given you and write 3 pages. Tell me what's realistic, what's not realistic, and what did you see from the phases of emergency management in the movie? Were they prepared? Was there mitigation in place? Did they mention, oh man, if we had done this, right? Like that's a mitigation action. How did they respond? How did they recover? What things did you see in the movie that play back on those phases of disaster management? There's some great ones there. You can watch Patriots Day about the Boston bombing. There's some great ones about 9/11. Um, there's Volcano, Twister, Contagion, um, the one about the oil spill, Deepwater Horizon. So pick a movie off the list, write 3 pages. You can get up to 20 points of extra credit. If you missed class or you missed an online assignment, this is an absolutely fantastic opportunity to make up those points. You're going to make up 2 absences or 2 missed online activities because the extra credit's 20 points. So I highly encourage you guys to do that. You should have plenty of time to watch one of these movies at this point. I did want to mention my late work policy. So typically, I have not accepted online activities or the current event discussions late. If it's late, and that's it. But I know you guys are getting more work from other classes now that we're online. You've got to share computers and internet connection. Some of you are essential workers and you still have to go to work. Some of you have to work more. And so I want to relax that policy a little bit. So I'm going to allow those things, the online activities and the current event discussions, to be turned in 24 hours late. So if it's due on a Monday night, you have until Tuesday night. I won't count it late. Um, don't don't wait and purposely turn it in late, but that's for those times where the internet's not working or something's off, right? Your FEMA certificates, guys, there's so many of you that haven't turned these in. Turn them in. 50% off is better than no points at all. That is 75 points still towards your final grade. Make sure you turn these in. Get them in before the final exam. And then the course paper, it was always 10 points off if it was 1 week late, but instead of receiving 0 points through the end of the semester, you'll get half credit for the paper if you want to turn it in later than that. And the last thing I want to cover is the grading scheme. So we had 7 in-class attendance, and so we're going to kind of hang out there at 70 points. And I've increased the online activities to 21. So that's 210 points here. So this is 280 points, and that's exactly the same as what these 2 numbers were when we started the semester. It was 130 for attendance and 150 for online activities. So like I said, I didn't want to reduce this 830 number because I didn't want it to negatively affect your guys' grades. So make sure the weeks that we have 2 online activities due that you're doing both. Just follow along your to-do list in Canvas and make sure you're getting that information in and getting those activities in. So that's my update on the schedule for the rest of the semester. I'll make sure to post plenty of announcements so that you guys know due dates are coming. I can send messages. I'm going to activate the chat feature in our Canvas website, and I will be on Canvas available to chat at our regular class time on Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30. So if you guys need anything, get on Canvas during our regular class time and hit me up on the chat feature. Send me an email. I'll definitely be on Canvas for that hour and 15 minutes every Tuesday, and then I'll be checking in every day as usual. So make sure that you communicate if there's any issues, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I want to work with you guys. This time is kind of weird and crazy and different. And so fortunately, we have all the tools to get through it. The university is set up really well for this. So we will get through it. This will all end soon, probably sooner than we think. Don't think doomsday 6 months. I mean, stay positive, get out, enjoy the spring weather, and stay safe, stay healthy. And I will talk to you guys soon.